Hello, my name is Kevin Kranzow, and this is my final assignment for EDUC548. Come join me on this new adventure into the future. We are about to embark upon an educational odyssey and discover how learning analytics will impact education. This is the HAL 9000, an artificial intelligence AI from what was the future in 1968. Hi, Hal. Can you please tell me about learning analytics?
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Dave? Who is Dave? What's the problem, Hal?
You know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
I know that we are on an important mission of lifelong learning. I really do not want to get into an argument with a computer. Sometimes artificial intelligences or AIs get out of control. I better shut Hal down before he reads my lips and takes control. I'm sorry about that. This journey started out with a run-in with the dark side of technology. Let's see what other resources we have. How is technology transforming education, and what does the future hold? Transformation has occurred over several areas: access and convenience, simulation, personalization, and connection. These are all old thoughts, so what is next? To understand what is next, we just need to look at some great education theorists. Google, Netflix, and Amazon. What makes these companies so powerful? They observe people at the interface of technology. They track everyone and want to understand people as consumers. The next step for education is similar: learning analytics. The power of this technology is tracking students and understanding how learning happens. What is learning analytics? According to EDUC548, learning analytics is an educational application of web analytics aimed at learner profiling, a process of gathering and analyzing details of individual students' interactions in online learning activities. A simpler definition is that the goal of learning analytics is to describe, explain, and predict student learning. In a not too distant past, educational theories were developed and tested using randomized control trials and classroom study. There were flaws with both of these approaches, but learning analytics allows for the combination of theory and practice to create educational technologies that are testing theories but used in authentic, real learning environments. The more I researched this topic, the more I discovered how complicated the entire system is. I will attempt to just give an overview of how all this works. First, the online learning environment has to be constructed. This is the lesson and modules for a topic or course. Data is then collected based upon student interactions. This data drives the feedback in the learning system. Predictions are made about student knowledge. Teachers can drill down and see what concepts an individual student is struggling with. The system does the analysis. It does not just tell you what a student missed, problems 1, 2, and 5, but it looks at the underlying concepts behind those questions. Who receives the data? The individual student receives data based upon their performance on their interactions with the learning system. Feedback is based upon what they are doing. The instructor receives data. This data is based upon their entire class. They can also look at how individual students are doing with different ideas and concepts. The course design team receives data from all of the courses they are using this particular courseware. This helps the designers determine what is working and what needs to be updated. To create this learning environment requires collaboration between the statisticians, software engineers, learning researchers, etc. So what can learning analytics do? It can predict future student performance based upon patterns of learning across diverse student bodies. It can intervene when students are struggling to provide unique feedback tailored to their answers. It provides a personalized learning process for each and every student, playing to their strengths and encouraging improvement. It can adapt teaching and learning styles via socialization, pedagogy, and technology. What can learning analytics be used for? Learning analytics can be used to detect performance difficulties. It can monitor if a student has spent less than the average time on a site and track time between logins. It can predict if the performance is due to inattention or a lack of understanding. It can also distinguish between guessing and knowing multiple choice answers. Here are a few examples of learning environments that use learning analytics. MathSpace monitors how students reason through math problems and provides personalized feedback as well as analytics reports for teachers. The KnowMe tool, students see how much time they spent working through specific texts and where they are in relation to their goals. The Mobius social learning information platform facilitates anonymous peer-to-peer feedback and grading. An algorithm turns feedback into statistics and performance reports. Constant Therapy uses data analytics to provide personalized therapy for people with cognitive, language, communication, and learning disorders. Lessons adapt to meet the needs of learners while allowing language educators to monitor their progress. All of this sounds amazing, but what are some of the limitations of learning analytics? This technology still requires a lot of human effort, data cleaning, data formatting, data alignment. There's also the possibility of misinterpretation of data. Learning analytics also requires a technical infrastructure that many schools do not have yet. This includes data and analysis tools, data storage, and being able to model data from multiple sources. Data collected and modeled are in proprietary systems and is not available to help the education community as a whole to learn and grow. During my research, I could not find out what types of questions were asked in the modules, but it seems that multiple choice questions might be the majority of the assessments. This leaves out short answer questions, essays, performance assessments, and using portfolios as assessments. Why is learning analytics not widely used yet? Privacy concerns for both learners and teachers. As we have talked about digital citizenship and the dark side of technology, privacy remains a concern. The infrastructure needs to be set up, and only certain parties should have access to certain types of data. Comprehending accuracy and limitations of data is vital to the system working smoothly. Misinterpretation could lead to inappropriate responses by teachers and have a negative impact upon the students. How will learning analytics affect the future of education? Teachers will have multiple roles: instructor, facilitator, analysts. Learning analytics can be customized to student needs, allowing students to get a better, faster picture of their performance. Learning analytics will be able to identify common wrong answers and create custom responses crafted to help address the specifics of each particular wrong answer. Allows for online peer grading and self-grading because educators can monitor correlations between current versus past performance and teacher versus peer or self-grading. Every student answers every question, ensuring they interact with all the course material. And it helps educators identify students who are initially slow but progress later. Reviewing data will be the new teacher requirement. This data allows teachers to see the gaps and reassesses to best meet needs. Intuitive assessments will adjust to the student's knowledge. Teachers can meet the students where they are, but this is only good if it is being monitored and used. Education in the future will follow this continuous cycle. Design the learning experience, collecting data, and that's what the technology is really good for, analyzing data, refine learning theories and models, and the cycle continues. We are bombarded with information every day. With technology, we have an incredible amount of knowledge at our fingertips. But mastery of taught content is not what is required in today's society. What is required is that a learner needs to be able to apply their knowledge to new situations. How well prepared are they to learn something new? Learning analytics is striving to prepare students for future learning. The next goal for learning analytics is how to build learning environments that support and assess learners while preparing them for future learning. To quickly summarize this educational odyssey, learning analytics is a technology used to describe, explain, and predict student learning. Learning analytics is beginning to change the face of education. The technology is not accessible to all schools, but the logistics are being worked out along with privacy issues. As educators, we need to remember that data is necessary, but it is not all that is needed to create equitable and effective learning environments. As an educator, I want to help students to make connections to future learning. School is not about boring worksheets, but it should be about casting a bigger vision. How can the knowledge that was just learned be applied to a current situation or a future problem? How is information synthesized and something new created? If we are to teach critical thinking, we need to create that vision for our students. If technology keeps moving in this direction, learning analytics will be a great tool to help teachers facilitate learning. If technology takes a dark turn, we could end our odyssey back where some thought it began. Or we can continue to grow and develop with the help of new technology. And here are the references that I used.